watching the Mystical Green Beanie.
Hey, what's going on, dudes and dudettes? I am the Mystical Green Beanie, and this is going to be a really short video, and I'm just going to be straight up. I think as far as comics go, we're living in the reverse 90s. So the 90s was a really strange time period for comics. Now, personally, I don't think the 90s was as bad as people like to say it is, but the reason I think 90s comics lives on in infamy is because a lot of the AAA comics that were really popular and are supposed to be good weren't. And that's why a lot of people say, oh, the 90s was terrible. Do you remember the X-Men in the 90s? Or the Clone Saga? Or how all the women in comics were drawn like disproportionate Barbie dolls? Or how all the dudes were beefy beefcakes who were focused on being extreme? It was all terrible. And to be fair, a lot of that stuff was bad. That said, this is where we start to run into some problems. Because I feel like as of right now, the comic book industry has taken a hard left turn and gone in the complete opposite direction of that in order to make up for the BS that the 90s is known for. However, the problem with that is that in trying to fix one problem by turning the overall style of comics around in a complete 180, they created another problem? So you know how I just said that all the popular AAA comics in the 90s were extreme and all the dudes are totally radical beefy beefcakes, and all the chicks are sexy Barbie doll babes, and all the stories are filled with hardcore, gritty, high-octane action. Yeah, so you look at comics now, and thankfully, they're not that, but instead, they're fun, and all the dudes are like super silly and goofy and effeminate, and all the girls are written to be strong female characters, like the ones you see on the CW sitcoms, and all of the stories are also random and hashtag relatable and like OMG, so self-aware and cutesy. Comics went from being really dumb and inadvertently funny due to how try-hard and edgy they were, to just being straight up cringe-inducing. Now don't get me wrong, I don't dislike comics being tongue-in-cheek, but I also would like to be able to take the stories and the characters somewhat seriously. And it's weird because I feel like 10 to 15 years ago, comics were doing a really good job of striking a middle ground between super silly tongue-in-cheek comic book nonsense and serious storytelling. But now, it seems like we can't strike that balance anymore. And we've gone too far in the opposite direction of the 90s. And I think this current era of comics will be remembered as being just as bad, if not worse than the 90s. Anyways, what about you? What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know down below in the comment section. Also, if you like this video, hit the like button, share, support the channel, and if you want to see more content like this, all you have to do is subscribe. I'm the Mystical Green Beanie. Thank you for watching, and as always, until next time, adios, nachos, adios.